Wow, this is crazy. So we just passed the halfway mark for June. Ugh, it's crazy. Almost done with June already. Wow. But yeah, so the show, The Good Doctor. This is crazy. I already finished your first season, and it was really like very touching. It hit home. Like when I say hit home, not for me personally, but I'm saying like it was more about his childhood and how he got to where he is now and everything. And it was really sad and all that, right? Really touching. But the second season, yeah, and the first season was more about, like I said, his childhood and his sibling. You guys know that he didn't make it and everything. He had this tragic accident or whatever. But it's so crazy. Like, a lot of things were themed and focused on his late brother, right? So I feel like with the second season, it was more about him finding himself and coming into his own, being his own person, all that stuff, and wasn't much about his his late brother and all that. It was more about him as a person. Like, hey, you've been through all this in the past. All this tragic stuff happened to you, your family, whatever. Okay, and you've grown from it. You've developed a little bit. Now you're gonna take a stand and put your foot down, right? And be the person that we know you could be, basically. And some parts I was a little like sad about, a little nervous, a little anxious. Like, it was a little crazy. Like, it really hit some emotion. So the second season, like I said, okay, the first season we know you have autism. We know you're on the spectrum. You have a little problem with communication, all that stuff, right? So with the second season, it's like, hey, I'm working on this. Okay, this is me working on it, and I'm comfortable. I know I have a long way to go still, but right now I'm comfortable. As opposed to the first season where I was completely uncomfortable, right? And couldn't really communicate well and do stuff well, all that. But now I'm saying I'm comfortable and willing and ready to do more, right? Half and half. So 2 more seasons to go. I'm about to hit on in on the third season right now. But like I said, like this second season, it was really good because it was more about him as a man as opposed to the first season where it was more him in his childhood, right? So now he's a man. Now he's putting his foot down, making decisions for himself, stuff like that, and actually displaying emotions because you guys know, like, when you're on that spectrum, so it's really hard, right, to show or display any emotion. So it got really intense towards the end there in the second season, and I was really super surprised, especially with that with that new guy, the new medical director. Oh my god, you just so when they first introduced him and stuff, I was like, wow, like that's the guy from Hawaii Five O. I don't know if you guys watched that one, but that's also definitely one you guys should put on your watch list, right? So Hawaii Five O is just it's crazy, crazy show, right? With these cops that it wasn't regular cops. They were they were their own special case, their own special team, whatever. Um, and just like solving crimes and stuff in Hawaii. Like you guys know, like it's a really cool place. I definitely have to go there sometime. I don't know, sometime I don't know. I need to plan it out, but I definitely need to go. I didn't even know, like if I didn't watch it, if I didn't watch that show, I wouldn't even know about the different islands. Like Hawaii is not just Hawaii. Like there's Hawaii, I think with Honolulu. Like there's different like islands all together, but it's not like just Hawaii. Like it's not just one. Like, I didn't know that, right? So I thought it was just this one big island, but there's like I think three separate islands together in that vicinity. Like it's crazy. So that show it had a lot of seasons and it went on for a while. I think I was it the and no, was it the beginning of 2019 that I was done with it or something? It was a while ago I watched it. And it was so crazy. Like that storyline and everything. And the guy with his parents, Secret Service, like all this crazy stuff going on in his life and it was crazy. And then they had this whole scandal or whatever with him, with the other guy, the Asian guy I was talking about on this show that was originally talking about The Good Doctor. That guy, he was on that show and then he left and then someone else came in and all that. But the reason behind him leaving the show, so a lot of times when someone has a show, it's like there's always something going on in the background. And in that case, it was more of his paycheck and how little it was compared to the other actors and stuff. I think he just like left. I think he also had a sister in there on the show, and then I think it was just the two of them that wasn't getting paid as much or something. I know the whole story behind, but it was saying something, and the reason why they left and everything, and they wasn't on the show anymore, and all these other people came in, all these new people came in, and all that stuff. But that's a whole other thing, right? So when I saw him on this show that I'm talking about, like I said, Good Doctor originally, I was really surprised. It was so crazy because that's the only show I saw him on where, well, in general, basically, the only show that I saw him on. But I have seen, like, I want to say commercials and stuff like that where he's on other shows and all that. It was so surprising because seeing him on that show for that long, in that while ago, like I said, when I was watching it, I haven't seen him in anything else. So to see him going from like a detective, like a cop, whatever, to being a doctor, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I do like his role. I did like his role in the whole few episodes that he was in the Good Doctor, that second season. Like I said, it just ended and it was crazy. Guys, most people, they were like kind of cuddling the main character, right? They were kind of cuddling him and everything. So when the new guy came in and he challenged him, and made him, put a little pressure on him, challenge him, try to challenge him to test him to see if he could rise to the occasion and all that stuff, right? Everybody else was against his methods. But like I said, they were kind of coddling him and didn't give him that chance to grow or to prove himself, basically, right? So when he came and he challenged him and stuff, he proved that he wasn't able to in the beginning, like he wasn't able to do what everybody else claimed that he could do, right? Because like I said, they were cuddling him and stuff and not really challenging him like to his full potential, right? So when he came in and he did all that stuff, and then you saw all the emotion, like all the emotion that he displayed, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like I thought he was about to fight with him. I thought he was about to fight with him for real. In that well, not the last episode in the second season. I think the one before that. Yeah, so the one before that, 17, episode 17, I think. Towards the end there, I was like, yo, this is crazy. uh, but yeah, so really, really good ending towards that season. And I'm hoping it's only gonna get better. But like I said, only 2 more episodes. I'm already halfway done. Halfway through the end of the month, I'm halfway done with the episode, with the whole season, everything. The whole show. I mean, not the whole season, the whole show. So out of the four seasons, 2 of them already done. I'm looking forward to the ending, see how it ends and everything, how it turns out. But at the same time, I want to delay it and watch something else. Just so I'll have more time with it, but I don't want it to be end. I don't want to get to the end sooner than later. It's like, when you like a show or something, you don't want it to end. Like, you just want to keep watching. But I don't like watching stuff over and over. Like, oh, that's my speaker. I'm still editing that video for you guys. It'll come soon. But yeah, so like I was saying, like I hate when you like watch a show and it's gonna end soon, but you don't want it to end, but you do want to know about how it ends. But you're gonna be a little bit sad at least. It's a little bit sad. Like, yo, guys can't be over yet. I wish they had a new season, man. For real. They should have a new season, for real. But like I said, I don't know how it's gonna end, so depending on how it ends, we'll see how it goes. But so I might just do the same thing that I did and wait until both of them end. Wait until I finish both of them before I say anything. Instead of doing one per episode, one per season. That should be good. That should be fine. So yeah, let me go ahead and go back into this new season. Let me go back, start watching again. Yeah, happy mid-June. I don't know. Can't believe it's almost over. But you guys already know, favorite month, the best month of the year is just around the corner. It's just around the corner. It's crazy. It's crazy to think my age this year. That's crazy. Anyway, that's a story for another day. Just reminiscing or thinking far, far into the future. The whole married with kids and white picket fence and all that. Well, everything's gonna be green. My future. That's another story for another day. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The other thing I was gonna mention as well, I forgot to mention, was his love life and everything. So even though he liked this girl in this first season, and he really liked her and all that stuff, she didn't feel the same way, but they did like each other as friends. He wanted more, but she didn't, and all that stuff. So seeing her with other guys and all the people and all that stuff, he was really sad and all that. But they grew into their friendship in a weird, I want to say a weird way, but like they had this whole thing where they promised each other not to, pursue anything more than friends and all that stuff. But towards the end, when he was into someone else and she thought he was gonna try to ask her out and stuff, even though they said they wouldn't do that, right? I was really surprised. I was really surprised. So I didn't expect it to be someone else. The other person was. I didn't expect it to be her, but so he was into someone else, right? And then got dressed up and got the flowers, chocolate, all that stuff. When she came through the door, his friend, and he was like, "Hey, I have a question to ask you, right?" Like automatically, just the way she looked and the way he was, preparing to ask a question, you would automatically think that he was gonna ask her out because she knows that he likes her and stuff. And as modern friends, even though she doesn't or didn't feel that way before, or said she didn't feel that way, but the look at her face, she really wanted him to ask her out, right? But when he asked, how do I look, or do I look nice, whatever, right? Yo, that part, seriously. Because every time he would be like, "Hey, I like you. Hey, I want to do stuff with you, whatever." She'd be like, "No, we can't do that. No, I just want to be a friend. I don't want to do anything more." And he just went on, right, for months. Almost was it half a year? Since they moving together as friends, whatever. But yeah, so when he asked, "Hey, do I look nice?" She's like, "Yeah, you look really nice." And then she was like expecting and waiting for him to be like, "Hey, I would like to ask you out. I'd like to go out with you, whatever, go on a date." But he didn't. He just walked right past her. And I'm like, wow. Because the other day you had this other guy in your house, you're in your bedroom with him, and Sharon was trying to be friendly with both you guys, whatever, and you're like, "Nah, get out of here." Like, I don't want you in between the two of us doing whatever, right? So get out of here. So I'm thinking back to that and all the other guys that she was with and stuff. Just having fun, whatever. So when he said, "Do I look nice?" and she answered, "Yeah." And then he just walked past her, leaving, go out the door to go ask her who he wanted to actually ask out. Like, I was like, yo. Like, I never expected him to jump out of his shell like that and, put it all on the line to actually go and ask someone out. Like, that was crazy. It really was. It was really good on his part, though, for real. Because it's never good to have an unrequited love. Like, liking someone, knowing that they definitely don't feel the same way or not as strongly as you do, like, it's really sad. It could be devastating, like really, really bad, right? So the whole fact that he was friends with her, and even though he wanted to be more than friends, he actually put that aside out of respect for her, right? Because he knew that it's not what she wanted, and he definitely didn't want to do anything that she didn't want to do, right? So for that whole thing, I'm like, yo, because even though she said she didn't want it, it's like over time, as time passed and everything, she just became closer and closer. And the other doctors was talking about how it might be pity love, but I don't know. I can't say it for sure. Cause sometimes I would feel like she really loves him, and then other times I'm like, yo, she can never or doesn't feel as strongly for him. as he might think she does. But yeah, so we'll see how that new that new affection, that new chick, that new woman that he was pursuing. We'll see how that goes in this new season I'm about to start right now. All right, peace for real this time.